Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. I have some green mint baking chips here. I've been kind of keeping an eye out for a recipe to use these in. Yesterday I saw Vitale do a recipe for these chocolate mint cookies. So I'm going to try to use her recipe and adapt it to my toaster oven. So let's get toasting. Her cookies were individual cookies, and then she stuffed like those round chocolate thin mints inside of each one, but I'm going to try to make pan cookies with mine, so hopefully that'll work. I guess we'll find out. Okay, let's get started with the dry ingredients. First off is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. It's already in there, and a 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Now I'll get these all whisked together. Now the wet ingredients are 1 stick of butter, and it called for unsalted butter, and I don't have unsalted butter, so I'm just going to use salted and not add the salt to the recipe because it called for a little bit of salt. Now to that I'm going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to get this mixed up, and I'm just going to use my hand for that. Alright, that looks good. Now I'm going to add 2 eggs that I kind of beat up already. And I'll get those all mixed in. That looks pretty good. Now I have to combine the 2 of these. And I'll write all the ingredients in the description when I'm done, and the baking time and all that good stuff. So let me keep mixing, and we'll be back when this is all mixed up. That is all mixed up, but it was so thick I had to end up adding 1 tablespoon of water to thin it out a little bit. So I will write that in the recipe, the 1 tablespoon of water. And now these are green mint baking chips. I'm going to add 3/4 cup of those, and I'll get those all mixed in, and then we'll pour it into that baking dish. This batter is so thick. I hope it works okay making pan cookies like this instead of individual cookies. I was afraid to add more water than that tablespoon because I was afraid it might mess the recipe up. So if I can get these into the pan and get them spread out, then we'll get them into the toaster oven. Man, this is thick. Okay, be back when they're ready to go in the oven. Oh boy. I set my oven to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's said to bake these for 10 to 12 minutes, but those are for individual cookies, so this may take longer. I don't know. I'll just keep an eye on it, and hopefully it'll work out. It's been 14 minutes. Let's take a look here. Wow, that looks pretty good. How do you know when it's done? That pulls out pretty easily. Comes out cleanly. So I guess that's probably done. I'm going to get them out. I don't want to burn them. So let's pull this whole thing out. We'll let them cool and see if it's any good. I'll let these cool for a few minutes, and I'm dying to see how they turned out. I don't know if they're all the way cooked. I might not have cooked them long enough. Well, let's see here. Oops. Yeah, I think I probably should have cooked them a little bit longer. Probably didn't cook them long enough since they're in a pan rather than individual cookies. After these cooled down a little more, they firmed up pretty nicely. I thought I screwed them up and way undercooked them, but after they sat, they firmed up pretty good. So I probably would have cooked them maybe 18 to 20 minutes instead of 14 or 15 like I did. And, you know, I added a tablespoon of water to them as well besides cooking them in a pan, so that probably needed a little bit more cooking time. That little bit of water probably made them more moist too, but they taste really good. They're moist and chewy, so all in all, they turned out good. I'll put the link to Laura Vitale's original recipe too at the end of this video if anybody wants to check it out. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.